Hey, Tyler. I hate to be disappointing, but it's just me this week.
Yeah, I miss Phil already.
I miss Phil too. Phil was pretty awesome.
I have good news though.
I'm always down for
Uh,
some good news.
I have three people down for interviews that reached out to me. So two are pro wrestlers, and one
Uh,
is a promoter out in
li-
Texas.
Listen, I gotta say, our boy Phil really came through for us on promoting the show and doing all that. Like it was pretty awesome. And just having him here was great. And so, any opportunity that we get to host somebody and have some conversation with them, I'm down to take. So, and I got some
Hell
time
yeah,
coming off, so we can film some random episodes. So,
I'm all for it.
yeah.
I figure we should start the episode with a shot for Phil since
Yeah,
he was in his
yeah,
office and he couldn't do a shot.
yep, yep. All
So
right.
from Jaden at MGM, I have Di Serono Velvet.
Oh yeah, oh, I forgot. Am I doing the right one? White? Yeah. So this one is
White.
from Jen, right? Jen from No Liquor Store just down the street. She's our friend, but she wanted to suggest a shot and they didn't have it. So sorry, Jen, but I'm gonna do Shine Nog. But I feel you would probably be okay with this. So we'll find out when I show you.
Goddamn Di Serono. All right.
I'm not.
Well, cheers to Phil. Thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for
Yeah.
spreading the word of kayfabe marks. And I think we have Phil to thank for so many follows that I got in this last week by pro wrestlers.
And just views and conversations. And there's been people we've connected with on TikTok that have been pretty awesome. So thanks, Phil. You're an awesome guy. All right, here we go. Whew. You know, I'm lukewarm on eggnog as it is. I'm definitely
Hmm.
lukewarm on lukewarm eggnog, but this wasn't bad.
This was really good. I think I'm gonna hate her though for the second one.
Yeah, probably.
But right now, Jaden, we're friends again. So thank you.
It's been a long time coming.
So yeah, just for everybody at home, I did pull my back out today, so I am miserable.
Mm,
And this is what, 48 shirts in a row now? 47, 48?
yeah, easily.
Counting specials? We're repping Owen Hart.
I ironically, I've got Stone Cold on today. This is definitely not anything new, but Stone Cold.
All right. So let's crack a cold one and get into the
Well,
news here.
got my Aldi brand spritzer today. They don't sponsor us, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, we were talking about that because I live in Minnesota and Aldi has no alcohol at all
Yeah,
here. But
yeah,
Wisconsin, I've definitely seen wines and
yeah,
seltzers and stuff like that. And you live in Illinois, and
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
we've got wine, seltzers, and beer. They don't do liquor. I don't think they do liquor anywhere though. So
no, no. But just another reason why I hate Minnesota. And I don't care who knows it. I hate it here. All right. News and rumors. Dave Meltzer said on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Tony Khan doesn't want to use wrestlers he knows are going to WWE. There's also speculation that could be why David Finlay has disappeared from AEW TV.
hmm.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You don't want to put people over on your TV, but Vince did the opposite. He'd put them on TV and bury them before they'd be gone.
I was gonna say. I mean, I don't know what's worse. Like keeping them off TV the whole time,
Probably
not letting
keeping
them
them
get,
on.
or putting them on and burying them. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty crappy to do before they go into a new endeavor. So in this rare occasion, I think I'm not too mad at Tony for this one. I don't know. I would really want. I'd still want you to put out the best product you could, regardless of that. But that's a dream. That's not me being realistic. So I'm not too mad at him.
No, but just be on the lookout for David Finlay.
You know.
All right. Brian Alvarez on F4W Online said there is a feeling that we might not get Royal Rumble surprises this year. Why? Because it will be held in Saudi Arabia, and it's much harder to sneak people into the show instead of the traditional surprises at the Royal Rumble. Alvarez also said if they have anything planned, it will take place at SmackDown or Saturday night's main event in Montreal the week prior.
Hmm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I would. If I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but this is the
I,
WWE. If they're gonna sneak somebody, they're gonna sneak
yeah.
somebody.
Yeah. If they want somebody there, they'll get it and they'll make it happen. But I just, it's another reason, and I feel like that's probably what the point of this whole story is. But it's another reason for us to hate these Saudi Arabia shows, as if we need more.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
All right. After Penta posted teasers on Instagram about how, quote, the wait is almost over, end quote, and, quote, 521 days, end quote, Lucha Blog's analysis indicates this means he will reunite with Rey Fenix on December 20th for Triple A's Guerrera, Guerrera, Guerra de Titanes. I speak English, dude. I'm murdering this. Event at the new 20,000 seat arena in Guadalajara, Mexico. That date is 521 days after Penta and Phoenix last teamed together as the Lucha Bros in AEW prior to signing with WWE. Lucha Blog also mentioned that, quote, they are going to have to load it up like a PLE to fill that building, and this seems like the plan to do it.
right.
So, not in WWE, but in a WWE owned promotion, AAA, we're going to get the Lucha Bros back together at the end of next month, allegedly.
Yeah.
But it sounds kind of like that's what they're going to do. So that'll be cool. I mean, I'll watch the show. It'll be on YouTube, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. That's probably what they'll do it. Yeah. You do.
All right. Bodyslam.net says there is a belief in WWE that Bianca Belair will return in the early stages of 2026. There is also apparently some optimism that she can beat the projected timeline and come back sooner.
Hmm.
I miss her. I didn't realize how much I was a Bianca fan until she's been gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely miss her at this point. Yeah.
At Sportskeeda, Wrestle Binge, Vince Russo. Everybody loves Vince Russo, right, Rankin?
Nope.
Said a talent at a high level in WWE told him that being loved by the internet, quote, means everything to Triple H, end quote. That's why he booked TNA star Joe Hendry in a match at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, is that any different than, being loved by the ratings, for Vince? I mean, it's just he's playing to the internet because that's where the largest gathering of fans are, and that's who's the loudest. So, I mean, I guess it
yeah,
makes sense. I mean,
it makes sense. I don't feel like this is a shot from Vince Russo, but
yeah, definitely not
whoever
from
the
Vince
high
Russo.
level talent in WWE is, it's like, well,
Yeah,
I mean, is he supposed to be hated online? Is he supposed
that's
to
what I'm
want to be
saying. I mean,
hated?
that should be his goal. I mean, in a sense, obviously, I think what they're trying to get to is saying that he's like making poor decisions because of it. And I would agree with that, but also, what do you expect? Like, this is what people want. This is his version of fans. He gets his feedback from the internet, and that's where most people get their feedback from now. That's why there's influencers of everything. So, I mean, he's no different than anybody else in that sense. I don't think.
No, I agree. Um, Regarding Jesse Ventura's absence from Saturday night's main event last week, that was a couple weeks ago now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter is under the impression that he signed a 1 year contract to do Saturday night main events, and his deal likely expired with the prior show. The Observer heard that Ventura's poor commentary in the steel cage match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre at May's event pretty much sealed his fate with WWE management,
Yeah.
which we all remember that. He was promising the match was going to end in the ring, and then,
Yeah. I mean,
this happened. He kind of buried the buried the match.
That's. I mean, there's a certain point, where you gotta let people go. Let them go off and do their own thing, and he may be at that point now. So nothing wrong with it.
He's just gonna go back to Mexico to his hut and drink his cervezas and
He's let him be
talk
out of
about
touch.
how
He's
he's got
earned
to.
it.
Yeah, he'll talk about how he's got to walk 8 miles to get to
Right. Let,
civilization.
let him go be out of touch. The man's earned it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these
Exactly.
guys, let them just go be, you know, curmudgeons by yourself.
Right. I think CVV was like, "What's your phone number?" And he's like, "I don't have a cell phone." It's like, "How do I get a hold of you?" And Jesse's like, "You don't." It's like Jesus.
There's something
Um,
about that generation, man. It's funny.
yeah. During an interview with the Coach and Bro, former WWE star Scarlett said increased ticket prices were constantly talked about backstage in the locker room.
Mm.
So
They're worried
even the
about the
talent
wrong
in
things.
WWE is like, what are they trying to do?
They're worried about the wrong things if that's what they're worried about. You know what I mean? Like I get it, the ticket prices and all that stuff, and if they're looking at it to be like, hey, we need to get more organized and organize our talent to become, I know it's a deadly word in the realms, but unionize the talent, then fine. I understand them talking about that, but if they're just talking about it just to talk about it, they're worried about the wrong stuff. You need to be worried about how to get over on the screen, how to make the product even better. Not to say it's a horrible product, but they need to make it better. So.
They need to make it better. I get why they're worried because at some point with this economy we're in, we're not going to be able to be selling out arenas if
That's
they
not,
keep
but
jacking
again, though,
prices.
they don't need to worry about that. Like the TKO board, let them worry about that. Let them worry about how to sell out arenas because it'll just correct. There's no way in hell that the WWE is going to go under, or there's no way in hell that they'll do budget cuts, but they're going to do those anyway. Whether
Yeah,
they have record profits or not, that has nothing to do with the talent. That has everything to do with, hey, we need to get rid of X amount of people to either bring in new people or whatnot. But I just don't see any situation where the employees of I look at it like you and I, man, we're both employees for our company, and I don't worry about my company's stock price because that's not how I get paid. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
would be different if we were doing like profit sharing or something, but in
yeah.
most
Then I care.
cases, yeah, in most cases, that's not the case for WWE guys either. They're all independent contractors, so they're not getting a share of those profits. And maybe in some cases they negotiate. I mean, if you're the top people, you might negotiate like a certain gate or something like that, but you're not getting, and I can maybe think of one scenario where you're getting a share of the actual profits of the company. So
Right.
why worry about that stuff? Worry about what you can control, and that's your ability to put on a great show. So that's why I think about it. Worry about what you can
Yeah, it's a
control.
good point. Yeah, and I mean, thinking about my job, I just hope they go bankrupt every day. That's all I
Yeah,
worry about.
yeah, yeah. I guess that was a bad example. That was because, but I'm just thinking like you and I aren't sitting around talking about like, oh man, they're charging this much for towels, or how much are they charging for
Right.
these machines that I work on. We're not talking about that shit. We're talking
No.
about how they treat us when we're at work, or how my pay is going to be affected by what we're doing in a huge
Yep.
company like WWE. It really doesn't matter. It really like whether they sell out the stadium or they don't, they will find cost cutting. Say it doesn't matter. I mean, and and not to say it should matter. Like you want your fans to be able to be at these events, but again, unless you're going to unionize as a talent base, there's not much you can do or any say you have in it.
Right.
they've got to become more powerful. Is what they need to do. So
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
unfortunate though.
All right. Zoe Stark's recovery from her knee injury is progressing well, and she is expected back in mid 2026 with WWE officials still high on her potential. And I agree with them. I'm really backing Zoe, especially right
Yeah,
before she got injured.
yeah.
Um, Chris Jericho posting photos of an improved physique on social media led to speculation about his status with AEW. and a return to WWE. He also liked a comment mentioning WrestleMania as though that's why he's gotten in such good shape. As well as on Talk is Jericho when he was talking to the Dudleys, he kind of buried AEW a little bit, saying that TNA at Bound for Glory looked like the number two biggest company in the world. Obviously, WWE is always going to be number one, so
Right.
he pushed AEW down a little more there.
Yeah, and I worry so much with a guy like Jericho who is so good, and same with like a guy like MJF. Like they can talk shit about AEW all they want. They're probably in many cases just adding the heat so that when they return, they're top heels. But you never know. And these days it's hard to tell. The good ones make you think twice.
Exactly, I agree. I do hope Jericho comes back for one last run, even if it's like a year or 2 years in WWE. That'd be great. That's where he should end it.
Yeah.
Um, Now here we go. I'm going to try and pronounce things again.
Oh,
Abu of Self Made and Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net are saying John Cena is planned to work the men's War Games match at Survivor Series. So, and that is our game today, is the Survivor Series,
yeah.
the way we thought it should be booked, the way it is booked, and then a fantasy book. But we're not done here, because our very own Dave Meltzer had an argument towards Bodyslam.net about this.
Yeah.
Wrestling Observer Radio's Dave Meltzer was told that John Cena will not be in the men's War Games match at Survivor Series.
I just don't see any way, and I really I hate to agree in any scenario here, but I just don't see any way that John Cena does this match. Like it just doesn't make sense to me at this point in his career. Like there's just no point to it.
They've made too
So,
big of a deal about the tournament and his last match and the
right,
match that he's going to have tomorrow night as people are watching it tonight on Monday Night Raw.
right, right, right. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to have him involved. I mean, it's a star-studded match. I get it. I know what they're doing, but him involved in this, it doesn't make any sense from a storyline perspective. It doesn't make any sense from a health perspective, and it probably doesn't make much sense to an in-ring aesthetic perspective. Like I don't think John Cena adds anything to the ring in this scenario. Like it's just it slows it down, honestly. And that's I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be disrespectful, but he's a much older dude now, and it's already an old enough match. And I'll have my words about it when we get to it. But it's
Yeah.
already a match that's
We'll
not
talk
going to be
about
what
who
I
we
want it to
think
be.
it's going to be.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Now, this has been controversial for the last few weeks. Although Nixon Newell reportedly said that there's no bad blood between Miranda Elise and herself and AEW over the Collision walkout, Dave Meltzer says it's highly unlikely either of them will ever get another AEW or Ring of Honor booking again. Fightful
Wow.
Select added to this that initially claimed Brian Danielson got involved in the situation, saying he personally spoke with both women and said he, quote, wasn't thrilled, but Newell told Fightful later neither her nor Elise have ever met with him in person.
Huh.
So, if you don't know, they asked for their match to be longer and more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? More competitive. They asked for their match to be longer and more competitive, and when they were told no, it doesn't fit with the show tonight, they both walked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, this story is still ongoing. Last week, both these girls were getting freaking death threats from the IWC. Go figure. But yeah, death threats over walking out of a company. What
So
is
stupid.
wrong with
Like,
IWC? Dude, seriously, I
is it a
can't deal with it.
is it a shitty thing to do? It's an unprofessional thing to do, and you'll probably sink your own ship in a lot of excuse me, future bookings. But I don't want you to die because of it. You
No,
know what I mean? Like
no.
that's sure that was crappy, but I'm guessing based on the frustration, it was going to be a bit of a squash match anyway, and a little enhancement talent match anyway.
Yep.
Why
And
why
we
would you
don't
get
know
death
how
threats over
long.
that?
Right, and we don't know how long they were frustrated about other things. This is obviously the final
Right,
straw, not the first one.
right, right.
So,
Yeah.
If you're one of those dumbass marks threatening to kill a professional wrestler because they did something that you don't agree with, dude, the internet should be taken away from you.
Yes,
The internet's
absolutely.
not for you. Wrestling is not for you.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, well, if it's not wrestling, then it'll be something else for people like that. But
Just outrageous. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. Self-Made Pro claims there are people within WWE who don't want Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes on TV at the same time unless they can build to another match between the two. So, just saying the War Games match, don't expect it to be Roman.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
know who
mean,
I think it's going to be.
we'll talk.
I,
We'll
I
talk about it.
we'll
We'll
talk
talk.
about it, but I think I'm right. Uh, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that Andrade walked out of the Clash 14. IV is 4, right?
Four, yeah,
In
yeah,
Roman numerals. Okay, Crash
yeah.
14 anniversario event, but he heard that it was because he was unhappy, but he's not sure why. And Andrade joked about it online, saying he went to a club. He left the show and went to a club. So this is again Andrade, maybe showing just attitude problems.
I think
We
it's
don't
just.
know why. But
Yeah, I mean, this is what two out of the last three stories we're talking about people walking out. I think it's just it's a it's a generational thing too, and I really hate to be the old man get off my lawn, but I think it's a generational thing. There's just two this not to say it didn't happen, but it generally happened differently and it wasn't talked about as much. So generationally, we have more internet, we have more access, so we're hearing about this stuff more and more and more. But it's just babies being babies, and maybe there is a good reason, but I don't see any good reason to walk out on your commitment like that. And it was the same thing when it was Sasha and Naomi for me. I didn't see any good reason for them to walk out on their commitment. Um, finish your commitment, and then if you have a gripe, you deal with it afterwards. That's the professional thing to do. You made a commitment. Do your commitment. Say what do what you say you're going to do, and then handle it. And if it doesn't get handled the way you wanted it to get handled, don't work for that company anymore. Like that's simple. I mean, I just don't. I don't. I mean, maybe it's coming from an old middle manager or something, but I just don't see the point in just abandoning a commitment that you've made. It just doesn't make sense to
yeah,
me.
I don't really understand it either. And then I have questions. Why is Andrade at a show right now if he's got that 2 year non compete? And then
Yeah.
I guess also in his non compete, it's worldwide put in there, even though people are
Yeah.
saying like the worldwide won't hold up in court.
No, there's no way that would hold up. But it's just, uh, God, there's people have too much access now. Like that's all. People have way too much access to things because it's like it used to just be like somebody would go away and we wouldn't see them for a while and we'd be like, oh dang, I mean, they must have had a non-compete, and then you'd get like a story somewhere down the road that was like, yeah, they had a 90-day non-compete. They're going to be up in a little while. But now it's like, 2-year non-compete. It's just there's too much access to people these days. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So,
Um, Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch are being discussed as possible WrestleMania 42 opponents for Stephanie Vaquer, says Bodyslam.net. I don't I don't agree with it being Becky unless she drops her title.
right. Well, I mean, you could run a Becky two belts angle to it.
Yeah,
It's happened. It happens a lot in the men's, or it had happened a lot in the men's, where I don't know about a lot, but where an intercontinental champion would go challenge and become the world champion. It happened on occasion.
yeah,
And I don't think there's anybody who could handle the heat more than Becky for beating Stephanie and become a double champ. So
right.
I could see it. I wouldn't want it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want
No,
that, but I could see
no,
it.
and Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer are buddies, and I mean, does that make the match
Yeah,
better, or does it make take you out of it a little bit because you're like, but I want face versus heel, not friend versus friend, or does it
yeah.
raise the match up, friend versus friend?
I tell you what, if you want to see the real true like salt of a performer in some case, put them in that kind of scenario where they've got to perform with somebody they really enjoy. And that's the thing that I think we have to remember is like maybe that makes it a better scenario because they're not fighting against this person and they both want each other to do well. And I think the desire for both of them to want each other to look as good and do as well as they can could elevate the match quite a bit. Maybe,
I'm
you know.
I'm still
But
pushing. I'd rather see Rhea than Becky, but
I think I get what you're saying though. It would take the fans out of it a little bit because it would take that heat out. But I think those like real true nerds of wrestling, those ones that like just want that best 5 star, 6 star match, they would enjoy that match. So I think it would be a better match. Less build and
yeah.
heat, but a better match.
Um, Completely off subject, but I promised I would do this, and I didn't write it down. I just forgot until now. But out in the UK, professional wrestler Titan J, fan of the show. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, shit. Awesome. We're reaching out to UK. That's a problem. That's gonna put us on a list somewhere. Yeah, we gotta be
All
careful.
right. Jamie Hayter was banged up in Blood and Guts on Dynamite and may have chipped several teeth. That, according to Fightful Select, which also reported that despite how bad it looked, Sky Blue came out of the match okay.
Sky Blue looked absolutely foobar. Like I'm guys, I've said this 1,000 times that I tend to not watch AEW generally like on a regular basis. I don't follow like I follow it, but I don't watch it very often unless I'm traveling for work and I happen to be on the road and I tune in because I got nothing else on TV. I'm just going to tune into that. Well, let me tell you, I was on the road this last Wednesday for Blood and Guts. Just happened to turn it on and I was blown away by both of those matches. Like it was, I don't there. It's generally like I've said before a bunch too. I don't like violence for violence sake. I'm not really that kind of wrestling fan. Not to disregard, not to be disrespectful to that style of wrestling. There is definitely a niche for that, and it's fine. It's just not my first go-to style of wrestling. That shit though, man, man, like it was incredible. I immediately texted you and I was like, "Are you watching this? Are you watching what's going on right now?" So
I heard Darby really got it bad in the men's match.
look, I I don't want to say too much to you because I know you got to go back and check it out. You were a little tied up
Yep.
Wednesday. I want you to experience it like I experienced it. So I'm not going to give you too much, but I'll say that I've always had a huge respect for Darby. My respect for Darby went through the roof in this match. There was a couple spots that I wish he would have done that didn't happen. That I thought were like opportunities, but that's me throwing his body on the line, not him throwing his body on the line. So I got to remember that. But there was I also it reignited my love for Orange Cassidy. Like I absolutely and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia showed me something in this match that I was like, whoa. It's I go back and watch it. How about we just commit now? You watch it this week sometime. We'll carve out a little time, maybe five minutes or so, 5-10 minutes next week, and we'll talk about Blood and Guts. And I'm gonna watch AEW this week, so then we can also talk about the fallout afterwards. So
Okay,
yeah,
for sure.
we'll tease that for next week.
John Cena became a Grand Slam champion. He did it.
It was cool. It was cool. It was cool.
I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
it was cool. Yeah, and
So
you know
he,
my love for Dom. So
yeah,
Uh, but I thought Dom performed amazing in that match. I was very happy with his performance, but I thought the way they did this, it made sense and it was good. I thought it was really cool.
yeah, 100.
So
percent It made sense. It was good. And we got a meme out of it with Cena lifting his head and doing the wink over that chair
yeah,
thing. Like
yeah,
that'll be a gift
yeah.
forever.
Well, and
So
that was our truth does that a lot too. Does the wink. So that's also kind of
mhm,
really fun for that.
I agree. All right, this is a long one. Buckle up.
All right.
WWE developmental pay has been a trending topic due to Ridge Holland's financial woes. And a recent Priscilla Kelly, formerly Gigi Dolan, interview with Denise Salcedo, where she said that NXT contracts can be for, quote, as low as $30,000 a year. end quote. Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez countered that, writing that, quote, nobody's making $30,000, and, quote, on a confirmed NXT deal, those start at $75,000, and big name talent brought in from the outside obviously make even more than that. Alvarez explained that Kelly's 30,000 figure could apply to those on WWE ID contracts, which isn't the same as an official TKO contractual salary
Right.
deal, and only paid a small amount to help upgrade their look and etc. So, and Priscilla did take to Twitter not yesterday but Friday and said that a lot of her comments were taken out of context
Yeah.
in that interview. But of course they were. They're always taken out of
Yeah.
context.
Listen, organized. That's just all you can really say about it. I mean, all these great sports leagues, the reason that their people have to be taken care of are the players unions. Um, those players, which they can be a nightmare, and I understand that, and unions can cause issues as much as they do well, but unless you guys band together to take care of each other, and this is one of those ones that has to start at the top. You got to get a Cody Rhodes, a Roman Reigns, or somebody like that who would legitimately move the needle to move the needle in this scenario.
Yeah.
So, and that's hard to do when they're paying them as much money as they are, because you're asking them to probably cap their earnings for the betterment of everybody else. We can argue about how fair that is all day long, but that's what you're asking them to do. So that's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Um, all right. Last story here before we get into our, I don't know, game, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's at least a good story and one that I have questions about,
okay,
but it's confirmed. Fightful Select says Joe Hendry has signed a full-time contract with WWE.
wow,
And to rain on the parade a little bit, they also claimed Matt Cardona wrestling as Zack Ryder on SmackDown was a one-match deal, and he has not signed a new deal with WWE, despite WWE selling Zack Ryder merch on WWEshop.com.
yeah. Well, Zack Ryder will get paid for that. So Matt Cardona will get paid for that. Um, yeah, I'll say really quick. I'll say to Joe Hendry, I had to check it a bunch of times. No disrespect to Cass, because she's the one that sent it, but Marissa said the same thing, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But I had to check a bunch of places, and then I saw my man Sean Ross Sapp said it, so I was like, okay, I'll believe it. And then with in terms of Matt Cardona, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was awesome. That was
I
fun.
loved it.
It opens the door for so many cool things. I know him and Joe Hendry have an online thing going on right now, and so maybe that opens the door for something there, because it's fun. It's fun, and I think that'd be awesome. So
I do want to throw out too. Titan J has been throwing shade at Cardona. He's been throwing shade at who was that dude that had the attitude problem in LFG again? BJ something.
oh my God, BJ Ray, I hate that guy.
BJ Ray. Those two are
Yeah.
at each other's throats on Twitter all the time. So I'm just saying, the UK's Titan J.
I might have to check.
Kind
I'm
of
gonna have to check
a
this guy out.
little
I
bit
didn't. I didn't
mouthy.
know about him. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look him up.
I mean, he
I'll add
follows
him.
me, so he'll follow you
Yeah,
back.
I'll
I'm sure
find
he'll
him.
follow.
Yeah, I'll follow him. Even if he doesn't, I'll follow him.
All right. He was one that wanted to be on the show. He said anytime he would make time for us. So
I will.
it's
We're
just
gonna
a
have
he's
to.
just a young 18-year-old up and coming kid. But dude, I back him. I'm for him.
Yeah, I'm all for having that fun. So,
Hell yeah. So let's go blue.
oh goodness gracious. All right. So this one,
Titan
this one
J.
I got.
I'm expecting him to drink on here. By the way, from the UK.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
wait,
I
he's
think
18. It's
I,
legal there at 18.
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into
No,
that. I don't know. I
maybe
don't
we will.
if it's legal there. I don't know if it's legal to show it here. But
Shit.
I know. I think Phil would have if he wasn't punching the
In his
clock for the man
office.
that day. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
which was unfortunate, but that's okay. It gave us a day where we didn't have to take a bunch of shots. So, I just took the one, thank goodness. So, oh yeah, yeah, that's your 90. That's your 100 proof, isn't it?
Yeah, and it stinks.
Yeah, this one. Mine's not 100 proof. My Blue Lightning here is some Old Smoky, and I just got it because the guy was being really rude to me in the liquor store, and I was trying to get out of there. So
Ugh. It smells like blueberry fingernail polish remover.
that's disgusting.
Yeah. Jaden, what the fuck is your problem? We were friends for almost 35 minutes. God.
35
All
solid
right.
minutes though. That was good friendship for 35 minutes.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Let's. Yep.
Ooh, that was way worse than it should have been.
Just give me a sec. Ugh. Fuck this company. I don't even want to get sponsored by you. This is fucking gross. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Okay. War games.
War games. Hey,
So
I did like the as mad as I was about um, the way this was all put together and the teams and all that stuff. I did love them bringing in Regal. That was fun.
I also appreciated that. If they only bring him in to yell war games every year, I'm fine with it.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So what in reality, right now, real life,
Well,
confirmed participants in the men's war games is CM
yeah,
Punk, Cody
yeah,
Rhodes, Jey Uso, and they just kind of slid it in on SmackDown, Jimmy
Jimmy. Yeah,
Uso,
yeah.
which I thought was
Again, another
weird.
issue. Another issue I'm having with this whole build-up. It's just that they're throwing shit together. So anyway,
Exactly. Like there should have been at least a backstage segment saying Jimmy, come on, man.
yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, nothing. He just walked up and said, "I'm with you guys." But it's again, it's just there's not much thought going into this, at least from what it looks like now. You know,
Yeah.
not like what I just witnessed in Blood and Guts. I'm telling you that. You could tell there was some thought that went into that shit. So,
And they'll be going against and one participant who in a second here we'll both guess
yeah,
versus Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre as of Friday joined the team, and they have one slot open. So this is the top slot with Punk, Rhodes, and the Usos. This is where we saw Meltzer arguing with BodySlam.net. It's John Cena.
right,
It's not John Cena. I
right.
fucking maybe it's the shot I just took.
Yeah.
I normally don't agree with Dave Meltzer,
No,
but I
yeah.
I don't think it's John Cena. I think it's Randy Orton.
Ah, see, and you got a lot of people saying LA Knight too. Um, but I like the Randy Orton pick. I almost do think it could still be Roman, even though, because otherwise, why are you bringing up this whole putting him and Cody in a match? And I don't think that needs to not still be the case, right? Um, and I'll get to at my end once we go over the next team. I'll get to where my real issues come with this style of putting together war games matches. But I think there it gives a little bit more solidarity if you bring Roman in there with Jimmy and Jay rather than even Randy. But I mean, Randy would be dope. I would like Randy.
Randy meshes with Punk. He meshes
Yeah,
with Cody, and he
Cody.
gets
Yep,
along with the Usos. So I think he
yep.
fits.
He
Roman
fits.
also
No,
would
no, he
work.
fits. He fits. Yeah,
Yeah, Roman also would work. I think the only reason I steered away from LA Knight is because he did win his qualifying match on
right, right.
SmackDown, and I think he's more dialed in and focused on winning that
Yeah,
tournament rather than War Games.
I would agree with that too. Yeah, and I
And if they
think
throw
Randy
LA Knight
Fitz.
in, then I don't know what they're doing.
That's just it. But I agree with you. I think Randy fits. I think Roman could fit. I think Roman adds drama where there's otherwise none really in here. Like there's no drama, there's no build, there are no stakes in this match. I don't feel like it's just nothing. I mean, it almost seems like a throwaway to me because it's just all these guys are top stars too. So who's going to take the big bumps? Who's taking the hard
Yeah.
stuff? Anyway, go ahead. Go. We'll
All
go to the
right.
heel
And
stuff.
then the other team, I know a lot of people have been. It's obviously Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar don't like to work.
No, not definitely not in
So
this kind of match.
no, I do not think it's going to be Brock Lesnar. If it is, I bet he's the last one to enter the ring.
Absolutely the last one, and it's over within 3 minutes, guaranteed.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the
And
only
you
way it's
won't know
Lesnar.
about it. You won't know about it until because he won't sit in that cage either for 30, 40 minutes while you guys all fight. He's gonna come out. They're gonna be like, oh, there's nobody left, or somebody's gonna get hurt, and he's gonna come out then because you're not gonna know about that man. Anyway,
Now
go ahead.
there's the popular theory that I actually got into a Twitter argument about, which was Austin Theory, and
Yeah,
I got in an argument with this guy. Not even an argument. He was arguing against me just saying logic. He was like, I don't watch anything. I don't support anything Vince McMahon did. And I was like, really? Because your name is a Bray Wyatt thing and then a John Cena thing. It's not even your name, and those are both Vince McMahon things. So what are you
correct.
doing? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, keep pushing me and you're going to get blocked. And I went, oh, I'll race you. And then I blocked him.
Uh,
So I had fun a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah, yeah. People aren't thinking logically about this, but
No, I think it could be theory. It's a good way to bring him back. It's a good way to make him one of these visionaries. It's a good way to
yeah.
make him a Paul Heyman guy. Try to make him relevant again after this Grayson Waller thing. And
That
I
makes the
can't
most
really think
sense.
of I can't think of any other heels that would fit in this right now.
It that makes the most sense, which almost makes me go, "There's no way they're gonna do it." You know what I mean? Because it's like you have, you know, no, it's just you have Theory and you have like Carmelo Hayes, like those guys being like the
He's
young,
babyface now.
but neither of them tip the scales, right? Neither of them make you go, "Whoa, wait a minute." You know, that puts a big thing on this. I I don't know. I almost feel like if you want to tip the scales, you might have to pull somebody like a Trick Williams or even better, you introduce Oba Femi as a heel. But he just did some stuff down in NXT that says he's going to be sticking around for a little bit. So
Yeah,
I couldn't
he is
see that.
jacked.
But
He is
yeah, but could you
jacked.
imagine? Could you imagine if he just showed up at War Games with Paul Heyman and now he's a Paul Heyman guy? Like that would be That'd be crazy. And he's been a babyface, so I mean that would be a real easy switch and a real crazy thing. But here's my issue, right? For me, a good War Games match, and I'm gonna reference Blood and Guts again because they did it right this time.
Well,
And
hold on.
and I think, oh, go
Can
ahead,
I add to your
go
point?
ahead.
I want to
Yeah,
add to your
yeah, go
point
ahead.
that it could be Oba. Paul
Okay.
Heyman was walking around with that contract saying any WWE contracted wrestler, right?
Hmm.
NXT is technically WWE, so you could be onto
Yep.
something here because he was like,
And
uh,
TNA is too, or not TNA, but I guess they're not technically WWE
they're
TNA, is it?
not.
But
So it's
NXT
definitely
would,
gonna be Raw,
yeah,
SmackDown, or NXT. But he
NXT,
was definitely fine printing and reiterating a lot. So your
yeah,
NXT take is actually a really, really smart
yeah.
idea.
I didn't think about that, but that would be again, that'd be interesting. I would like to see somebody new, somebody that tips the scales, somebody that's like, whoa, that's exciting, that's crazy, because there's no drama here. Like there's nothing. And
Mm-mm.
normally when I see these matches and I get excited about them is when you have ideally a heel group that's together, that's a faction, and then you put together a super team of faces to go up against them. They did it with the Bloodline. They did it with the Death Riders at Blood and Guts. They did it, you've seen it before, but they could have done it with the Vision, but they obviously with Seth's injury, it messed that all up. But I don't think they've handled it correctly. They should have
No,
introduced a new member and then the War Games thing.
It
Um,
should have been scrapped. You're right, because looking
yeah,
at the teams that we have here right now, add Seth Rollins back into this.
and
This
it
would
doesn't
work.
do anything to me. It still doesn't do
Really?
anything though. Yeah, okay,
Really?
yeah, it does. It does because you have everybody who hates Seth Rollins. In that sense, yes, that it does
Exactly.
do it for
And
me.
that's my
Um,
point. Now we just have a
yeah,
bunch of Paul Heyman guys, Logan Paul being a Paul Heyman guy now, which
right. Yeah,
but
yeah,
Drew McIntyre weirdly kind of it fits and it don't because he's always been against Paul Heyman guys. He's always been against the
right.
Vision. So this is different now. Maybe it does fit because Seth isn't there. So now Drew is like, okay, well
Yeah.
you got rid of the dead weight. So okay,
Well,
yeah, I
in
just I
that
don't know.
sense, yeah, you add Seth and you get rid of Drew, and I'm happy. And even you have Drew very uneasily aligning with these guys and the baby faces to go up against the Vision because he wants to hurt them that bad. Sure, but it's just I just felt like both teams were thrown together, and that's when it becomes kind of a problem for me, is when both teams are like just tossed together as teams, and there's no real continuity to it or anything. But I guess really what matters here is how do they handle what happens after this. I'm less excited about the men's War Games match now. I don't really care as much. I do care who the last two people are going to be. That could change my mind, but theory doesn't change my mind. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like he doesn't change my mind to care about this. You know.
And to the everybody listening, stop me at work, text me, Snapchat me, comment in the video, snap Rankins, text
Yeah,
Rankins, hit us
yeah.
up on Twitter, something. Who do you think this
I
last
won't
guy?
answer though. I won't
He
answer.
will. I will. I
Tyler
will.
will answer. I won't answer. Who do you think? Who do you think? So you're thinking theory for the heels. You're thinking
Yep. Randy.
Randy for the baby faces. I'm gonna go with you on Randy. I think that's good. I like that a lot. And I'm gonna pray for some NXT. I hope it's Obafemi because I am okay with my favorite being a heel. I do not have a problem with
Trick would
that.
be cool too,
But
though. Trick
Trick
is
would
a
be
great
a
heel.
Trick would be so much fun, and he tips the scales. He gives you another guy
Does
who's a big guy, but not a he's not Braun or Bronson big, but he's an
ooh
imposing looking dude. So
Ethan Page would also fit good there.
yeah, I just really like what Ethan Page is doing right now in NXT. So I
Yes,
really don't want them to take him away from that because he would be great though, Ethan Page. But you'd almost want him to run the damn thing.
I
Um,
know.
you know, so that would be a
He's so
problem.
great.
That would almost be an issue. So
You know what? Throwing it out there. If you're like me and you like to collect toys as an adult, check out Ethan Page's YouTube channel. I love it. I follow it. I watch every video. He's fucking great. And I know he's all ego on TV, but off TV, he's all ego. So you might want to go watch it.
all
All right, let's get into the women's. Here's what we have
right.
for sure. We have on the face side Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss, and we almost had Charlotte. I still think they're going to tease it, and then Charlotte's going to come. I'm going to say that now.
I
Okay?
agree with that.
Especially if a beat down at the end of SmackDown. I think Charlotte comes. But we have two to be announced for the women's on the face side, and then for the heel side, we have Nia Jax, Lash Legend, which finally on the main roster,
Finally,
and what a
finally. Yep.
perfect team
I don't like
of
her under
Nia
Nia
and
Jax,
Lash.
but finally, yeah,
Asuka and Kari Sane, and one to be
yep,
announced.
yep,
So who's going heel? Who's going face? Let's do faces first. I already said I think Charlotte joins the face
yep.
side. I already reported earlier in the show that it's not going to be Bianca, even though a lot of people
Right.
think Bianca's going to come back earlier than expected. Zoe Stark would have more likely been on the heel side anyway, but she's definitely gone. So who fits on the face side? And I'm gonna just throw this out there. I'll wait. I'll wait to do the heel side because you probably already know who I'm gonna
Yeah,
say. But face side, definitely Charlotte. I think they tip it with Charlotte. Charlotte's gonna do it. As much as she's
yeah,
being
I
a
agree.
whiner, she's gonna do it.
Right.
So we're really only looking for one. So who is it?
Yeah,
Who do you think? I
I gotta be on.
Lyra Valkyria maybe? Bailey?
I got to be honest with you, 100%. I didn't think I could be less interested in a War Games match than I am in the men's until I remembered what the women's looks like. And I am frustrated. I am frustrated with this. It feels like an afterthought. It doesn't feel very good at all. I will give the same uh thing. I hope that whoever they grab for the baby faces is somebody that maybe is not on the main roster currently. Or
Okay.
is somebody who is a returning person. I mean, AJ Lee would give him a pop. That's fine.
I think I
But
just figured it out. I
go
think it's
ahead,
going to be
go ahead.
Stephanie Vecchio. Charlotte and Stephanie Vecchio for the faces. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, yeah, and I guess that's the only person that's going to save this. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Lyra, but there's no reason for her to be there. I like Bailey, but there's no reason for her to be there. She's been so back and forth anyway. I think the only thing that saves us is Stephanie, which is wild, or Tiffany. I could see Tiffany Stratton, um, possibly being one.
Tiffany too fits. That's a good point. So Charlotte for sure, and then either
Yep,
Stephanie,
or Tiffany.
Tiffy, or you think somebody from NXT comes up.
That's what I think you need to have somebody come up from NXT. I think that has to happen right now. But if not, then I would say Tiffy.
Fine, Sol Ruka. That's who I'd want from NXT.
She's hurt. She's hurt.
She's hurt.
Yeah, yeah. She's been having like she lost her speed title, and then what's her name lost her title to goodness, it was just the other. It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, no, she's hurt right now. Like she's still on screen, so I don't think it's like a real true like horrible injury. But
Yeah.
on screen, she's hurt.
Oh damn! I didn't even
Yeah,
realize.
she's done with. She lost both of her titles. She relinquished the one because she didn't want Zarya fighting for it again because Zarya lost her title. Lost the first one. I can't remember who she lost it to. Now it's driving me crazy. But hold on, I'll look it
Dang.
up while we're talking. But go ahead. Yeah,
All
so
right.
Ruka is on my list though for my fantasy one.
Mine too. Weirdly. All right, then we're just looking at heels. Who is a huge heel right now? And I'm going to say Becky is going to be the last one to jump in on that.
Yeah, and in that sense, I almost think you got to have AJ Lee be the other one. Um, yeah, that would add some heat to it.
Yes, it
Blake Monroe,
would.
Blake Monroe is the one who beat Zarya, who
Yeah,
used to be
she's been
Mariah
hot.
Mariah
She has been.
May in AEW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's been really
Oh,
hot. They're pushing her to the moon down there.
yes, they are. Yep.
All right.
Um,
Who's your heel side then? Before we get into the who should have been and then our fantasy book.
I really don't know. I really don't. It's hard for me. I could see like a Julia but honestly, I think it's Becky. I think it's Becky, and I think you get AJ Lee also. I think those are the two.
Okay,
Now
Julia
that I'm
fits
gonna go
too though.
back on it.
I'll give you that. Julia did
Yeah.
just lose her belt. I could see
Yep.
this.
Disgruntled. It's so hard to guess what they're gonna do right now because they're so off the wall with everything.
Chelsea gets along with absolutely nobody and talks behind everyone's back, so it's definitely not her. Even though she won the
No, I
belt,
can't
I
see
don't think
her.
it would be
No,
Chelsea.
no,
No.
I can't see her. No.
All right, here we go to the first part of the game. Now that we talked about war games and how disappointed we both kind of are with it, you more than me, but you're still pretty disappointed.
Yeah. Well, that's the
For the
Survivor
men's,
Series. Survivor Series is my third favorite, like premium live event, like the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series. Like
yes,
I love it. I love Survivor Series, and I've loved War Games, and I think it has such potential to be one of the greatest like PLEs. I think it could be a top two PLE, honestly, but they're screwing it up, and I get so frustrated with it. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead. I
think the
just
war games matches
yeah.
should be the last two, but there should
Yes.
still be this whole show. No title matches, no this, no
Yeah.
that, no TLC. No, stop it. They should
Yeah.
all be like it was in the 80s and the early 90s, where
Yeah. The
every
five on
match
five.
is
Yeah.
a Survivor Series match. Survivor
Yes.
Series tag match. And then the
Yeah.
end, too, can be the War Games to
The War
keep the
Games.
War Games
So
are going.
they used to do a traditional brand versus brand Survivor Series match, and then they would have
Yep.
like two Survivor Series matches that were like specific to the brand. So they'd have like a Raw
People would
one and a
wrestle to be
SmackDown one.
captain. Yes,
Right, right, and they would have that. So that whatever was the Raw one, and the SmackDown one, those are your or yeah, those are your ones that you put in the actual war games. You know, those are
yes,
the but it's just frustrating. It's frustrating to see it, and I'm not even mad that they don't do the traditional Survivor Series match anymore. I think they should. I think they should do it like on the SmackDown before and the Raw after. They should just do this
okay,
anyway. But if they're not, because I don't think they'll ever do get away with it. But like you're clearly not putting any of your top champions on this card. You're not doing any championship matches. You're not doing anything else. Why not just have it be all Survivor Series, all War Games? I'm with you. But so that's
I
why I'm
agree.
frustrated. I'm frustrated because they're dropping the ball on something that could be very, very, very good. So
Okay, so for who I think it should be, I
yeah,
went different because we both agree who it should be, and they've heard us talk to quite an extent on here. So
yeah,
I thought I'm going to go Triple H brain
yeah.
on who it should be and
Right.
how I could have wrote the show different, but I'm definitely Triple H right now. I am not Mr. Owen Hart wearing t-shirt, kind of a good full
Yeah.
beard, but not
You
really
are
on this
you're
side and a
trips.
receding hairline Tyler. I'm Triple H.
Trips.
So I picked CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Randy Orton, and LA Knight versus. And now this is just me because in
Hmm.
in my world Seth Rollins isn't hurt. So
Okay.
Seth Rollins,
All right.
Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. And of course, we talked about it. Lesnar would be the last entrant. It would probably only be 3 minutes. But
Yep.
imagine the action that we would have with all those names rather than what we're doing right now. I just don't think the Usos fit there. That's just me. But
Yeah.
and it,
Listen.
and it
I'm
could have
a
been a great send off for Cena. So all right, now why don't you tell
yeah.
everybody what we both think it actually should be?
Well, and I'm just again going off the fact that the Vision had that incident, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay saying like we got to go in a different direction, because there in the real world, Seth isn't here, so I'm thinking you go in a different direction, go completely different. We haven't had two factions versus each other in a War Games match yet. Really, it's all been a faction versus a built team. If you think about it, the way that they've done it, we haven't seen two straight up legit factions go head to head in a War Games match with a good solid build. And they could have built this up with a couple tag team matches, with a couple singles matches traded back and forth. You know, had Solo and Howdy kind of face off a few times, but never quite get there. They really could have built this up to have the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six in an absolute hellacious Hell's Game match. Hell game. Oh goodness gracious, War Games match.
They might
Um,
rename it with those two teams though.
with those two, yeah, it could be Hell's Games. But and then we add somebody. We add a Wyatt Legacy person if you could. You know, you bring in a
Braun.
broken Matt Hardy, a Braun Strowman, somebody who has some connection to the Wyatt family. A broken Matt Hardy would be really cool, because the guy can
There
still
would.
go. You know, and it doesn't do anything crazy to you. But you bring in somebody to even it up, and then you let Howdy and um,
Solo.
Solo be the final two in, and you finally get your matchup between them. It just could have been so good, and it could have been so easy. But I felt like they cheaped out. They wanted to get as many stars into this match as they could. And I get people who are like, this wouldn't have been good, but that's because of the current booking that it wouldn't be
Yeah.
good, not because the match wouldn't be good. The match would be great. The build up would be great if you booked it to be great, So anyway,
And we've been
I'll
talking
stop.
about this for
Yeah,
at least 5 episodes now that it should
absolutely.
be
Yeah.
the MF. We were telling everybody they were wrong, and it's gonna be because we saw it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, yeah. I'm probably why I'm more frustrated than anything is I'm biting on that bitter pill of being so wrong on this. But it's just like, man, it's frustrating how easy this could have been. I mean, you could have even added, if you wanted to bring Aleister Black or somebody, you could have added to the Wyatt Six just to bring somebody. But man, it's so easy, so easy.
All right, and then
All
for the
right.
women's, I have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Sol Ruca, Bianca Belair, and Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, Chelsea Green, Julia.
Yeah, that wasn't. I forgot. That's the one I forgot to do. I was thinking about one. I was trying to remember which one I forgot to do, but it was that one. So I'll just go off the top of my head on that. I would take. I like the idea of putting because there's no real factions. I like the idea of
No.
putting kind of like a tag team with two singles competitors that makes sense. So I'm still good with the Kabuki Warriors. And then you pull in Nia Jackson and Lash Legend. I'm not mad at that team at all, really. Um, and I'm just because I'm doing this off the top of my head, I'll go 4-on-4. But then Io, Rhea, I wished Bianca would be back, but that's just not the case. But I'd go Io,
Right.
Rhea, and then the other two. Yeah, I'm really not. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to book that one off the
I
top of my
agree.
head. Yeah,
So
I
here
don't
we
know.
go. Fantasy booking time.
Yeah,
This is
this I got for sure. This I got.
this is everywhere.
Yep.
So fantasy booking. How in my WWE 2K25 it'll probably go.
Right.
Um, CM Punk, John Cena, Edge, aka Adam Copeland, but I think they'd give his name Edge back, seeing as how they did Zack Ryder,
Right.
LA Knight, and Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson. That
Okay.
would be my fantasy face team. Fantasy heel, John Moxley, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, MJF, Dirty Dom.
Okay. All right. So I looked at this and I just got to explain real quick. What I ended up doing with mine was I took one current WWE person, one legend of the game in some way, doesn't have to be WWE, one NXT or TNA lower level person, one
Mm-hmm.
person who I think would just be fun to see in the match, and then one specifically AEW Ring of Honor person. Um,
Okay.
and I realized I didn't think I did this face and heel, but I kind of did. So we'll actually just roll with it here. So this my face team, I guess then by that standard would be Randy Orton being number one, Abyss being number two, Javon Evans being number three, Darby Allin, and then I got to see my man Samoa Joe in one of these matches and with some big guys. So
All
and then
right.
my face team, so to speak, would be oh no I'm sorry, my heel team,
Heel
Drew
team. Heel team.
McIntyre as my current guy, Mankind specifically, Mankind, Oba Femi in this one. I keep trying to turn that guy heel, man. I'm sorry, guys. Shane McMahon is somebody I think if he would have had an opportunity to be in a War Games match, he would have lit that place on fire. Shane
Yeah, because he
McMahon would
doesn't
be
care about what he does to himself.
and he's and Marissa and I were talking about this. I was like, look, the guy's a millionaire, right? He's a and probably in today's age, essentially a billionaire. And back
Yeah.
then, he didn't have to do any of that stuff he was doing, and he
Yeah.
just did it. That dude sent it every single time. I would love to see him in a War Games match. And then
He's an
finally,
older
because
Darby Allin.
he, yeah, with so much more to lose in terms of like lifestyle. Now, that's not to be disrespectful in his career, but I'm just saying in
No,
lifestyle wise, there was no reason for that man to be out here doing this. And then
no, Darby lived in his spot.
my final person based solely on blood and guts is Wheeler Yuta. That dude, man, he had a an absolute showing. Now I did do two honorable mentions just because if two of mine sucked, I'd like to sub these in there, or if you had the same people. Eddie Kingston in my face and Moxley in my heels, but they have to go together. They have to be against each other. I
I
need Eddie
agree.
versus
Yeah, they would
Mox
have to
all
be
the time.
against each other.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Fantasy booking women's.
Yeah.
AJ Lee, Paige, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Jordan Grace versus Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, Roxanne Perez, Mercedes Moné, and Becky Lynch.
Um, That's good. That's good.
That
I
is a good
just
one.
I am so disrespectful to Mercedes Monet. But also I watched that blood and guts match, and she was the last one in, and I wasn't a big fan. Um, listen, my one team is Io Sky. Uh, my wife helped me come up with these entirely too, so it was kind of fun. But Io Sky, Lita, Jordan Grace. So, and I went by the same rules as the last one. So Jordan Grace, Sol Ruka, and then Willow Nightingale. My wife watched 10 minutes of that blood and guts match, and she said, "Put that woman in that match." So Willow Nightingale's in it. And then
Is
on
there a
team
cat
two,
meowing in your background,
it's
or is it
mine.
outside
Yeah,
my window?
it's no, it's
Okay,
my cat.
all right.
He's
I
meowing
thought
back
I was
there.
losing my mind.
Number two is Bianca Belair, China, Lash Legend, Sky Blue, and then Mega Bane, Mega Bane, Megan Bane. Sh- both Sky Blue and Megan Bane were in that Blood and Guts match, and it was insane. So again, that's definitely a big banger of a group right there. But I think that would be a fun matchup. Those guys.
All right. Well, now that we did all this, should we do our purple drinks?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We can let these people go. Get them out of
It's
here.
not fair. Mine's so much bigger than yours. It's called a big sips,
Yeah,
not a big
well,
shot.
that's just life, son. So
I'm supposed to shake this.
I don't know, but mine is also
It's
100 proof. So
big
this
sips,
is
purple punch, and Cassie already told me it sucks. It's been in my fridge
oh
for 2 weeks,
well.
and I bought this just like John at Winehouse in Wisconsin was like, "Oh, why don't you try these?" And I got an what was it? America. What? Not even America. That's how you know this whole company's
America,
white. Just America.
America.
And then Purple Punch. So I bought one of each, and Cassie said that the America one, she would take a drink and it would be really good, and then the aftertaste was terrible, which she said is, or no, it was really bad, but the aftertaste was good. She said it was like opposite of how any drink is normally. And then she
Hmm.
said Purple Punch is disgusting, and I was like, well, great.
Well, I put mine in this
It smells
container
good.
because I don't want to take a shot out of that silo with 99 bananas because I think that's why I puked that one time I took it. So, all right, here we go. Let's get her done.
Purple it up.
Purple it up. Oh, that is horrid. Mm,
I don't think I
wow.
can. I don't think I can.
Yep.
I've never
Yep.
not finished a shot. Give me a second.
Wait, wait till I do the compilation of all of our shots. Oh my god.
I'm gonna puke if I can't. Big sips wins.
Oh, Big Sips wins.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
It's disgusting. It's too
is
much. There's
this?
too much of it.
Yeah. Well, here
Technically,
I'll work this
I
out.
did a shot. I did over half of it, but this is fucking
I
gross.
mean, you're gonna have to finish it. You're gonna have to finish it eventually.
I won't let big sips win.
There you go. If he throws up here right now, guys, I apologize.
Okay, one more sip.
Yeah, yeah. Little sip, just a little sip. There you go.
Shit.
Oh, see, you should have just put it down. Nobody would have known.
Okay, got enough
Nobody
for
would have
sure. I
known.
promise.
All right, while Tyler dies, hey, we want to appreciate you guys for being with us this week. We got some big things coming your way, so stick with us. Check us out on all of our social, kayfabe.marks on pretty much everything. Wherever you don't see it there, it's Kayfabe Marks Podcast or Kayfabe Marks Pod. Tyler, you can catch at Kayfabe Tyler on Twitter, and I'm Kayfabe Adam on Twitter.
Live
Um,
action.
Live action. But as we tell you every week, and we mean it from the bottom of our hearts, we love you, we care about you. And we're getting into those winter months. It's getting dark earlier, it's getting dark longer. So take care of your mental health, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, take care of your people. We love you, we care about you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and if you ever think you're going through a really hard time, trust me, so are we.
Yeah, well, Tyler's going through a harder time than most right now. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, we love you.